relationship drama with the best nights of your life. Your host Jay and Simply E.
I didn't touch it.
Hold on. Get ready to
You
enter
moved it.
the J spot. The J spot on intellectual radio.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's gonna be one of those days today. And welcome to the best nights of your. Hold on, wait, let me do it. Live. You've entered the J spot where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station.
Yes.
I'm your host, Jai. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, Simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright,
Drunken.
sex kitten, Simply E. Hey E, how's it going today?
It's been a tequila day.
You know what? It's just, you know what? Y'all listen, we already starting off with all this bull junkie. Mike's falling. I wish something else fell out the L like this, but you know what?
I don't want it
gonna-
limp like that because that's a limp penis look like.
I don't want the penis to be limp, but Lord, if
Give
you're
it
gonna
some
send some,
Viagra.
give it some Viagra.
Yeah.
Well, just send the good, strong, viral ones, the ones that got a little, this is looking a little sick, so it's probably gonna fall again a little bit, so.
Fall down.
Hey.
Get up.
Look at this. No, I want you to, once you up, I need you to stay up.
Mm.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Guys, listen, we want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And J is spelled J-A-Y-E for all three. Guys, listen. Oh, well, good. That's good. So they missed y'all missed all of the trickery. See, everything happens for a reason. The shenanigans y'all missed all the shenanigans. Hey, Instagram, listen, you all, tonight's episode is being brought to you by flowerscbdshop.com. Listen, guys, she is our sponsor. Do me a favor, go to her page. She has all the gummies and the edibles. She has the CBD. She has the t-shirts, the hats. Go to her page, you all, and check her out. flowerscbdshop.com and use reference code J, and that's J-A-Y-E. We're also being brought to you by the J Spot Airbnb. Woo! Guys, listen, we are rocking and kicking it over there. It has been an amazing summer, guys, hosting this place. So I am just truly thankful. Listen, do me a favor. If you have not checked it out, go to our page. We have the link in our comments, the J Spot Airbnb. Also, we're being brought to you by Delaware Inc. You all, he has his spring line out. Guys, listen, awesome t-shirts, great colors. Listen, they feel good. I'm rocking mine. I'm waiting for the girl to doggone it cut it up. Forget, I'm just going to rock it without it being cut up. I was trying to have me a little hot girl summer, but you know what? It's okay. Don't even worry about it. I'm just gonna have to rock it without it being cut up. But I was trying to give y'all a little. I was trying to get him a little treat since y'all so good to us. I was just trying to give y'all a little treat. But don't worry about it. We're gonna get that together. But definitely do me a favor. Go to his page, Delaware Inc. We have the comment, his links in our comment. Delaware Inc. Use reference code J, and that's J-A-Y-E. We're also being brought to you by BK the Barber. You all, if you are looking to get faded and lined up, looking real good and clean. Listen, BK the Barber, listen, I'm like, all right, I saw him down at that wedding. I'm like, all right, BK the Barber, listen. Tell them how they can get their appointment and get in contact with BK the Barber.
If you are in the Houston or Spring, Texas area, contact BK the Barber at bookski.com. Go to Bookski, look for BK the Barber at Freelance Barbershop. 3000 Spring Cypress Road. Sweet D. I don't know what you doing over there.
Me either, but I bet you I was all up in his camera too.
Sweet D. Well, you really messed it up.
Sorry.
Sweet D. Spring, Texas, 77388. Check out BK the Barber.
And check me out when I get my whole life together.
Ah,
you all over here
it's
because
shrinking.
just like an well.
Well, you know what? Uncircumcised was work.
I don't know what is wrong with this mic.
That went down.
You know what? This
That's
has just
crooked.
been. You know what? It's gonna be a crooked kind of day. It's gonna just be crooked. You know what? Y'all charge it to my head and not to my heart, because from time to time I do struggle, because sometimes the struggle for me is real. But you all, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much to J Spot. Thank you so much, Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. Thank you, Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot, 180 Real Talk Chicago, the Real MVPs, Pit Life, Marshall Commandos. Who else we got?
Fabulous 40 to Over, Urban Grind, man. 30, Fabulous, you got the 30 and
30 and up doing us, Tyson Smith.
Oh, happy birthday to Terrell, not the MVP, but the other one.
No, the Real MVP is Kevin Terrell. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kevin. Yes. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you all to everybody that support and rock with us. We really appreciate you all. Thank you. 6 beautiful years, almost 7 years in December that you guys have been rocking with us. So we definitely appreciate it. And we have great things, some big things coming up. So definitely continue to stay tuned and support us, because y'all don't want to miss it. Now, listen, you guys, we have a great show in store for you all tonight. We have great hot topics. And listen, this first one, listen, it's not, look, don't get in y'all feelings.
Get in your feelings.
I stay in Pettyville.
Yes, she does.
Listen, after we get done tonight, some of you all may want to join me there. But listen, this first hot topic. Now, I don't know how you all feel about this, but what do you think about this? The statement was made. The gentleman says, request a DNA test. If she only slept with you, she won't be offended. So he's saying that, listen, hands down, when the baby comes, listen, she pregnant, anybody, hands down, request a DNA. If she's offended, she won't be offended if she only slept with you. So ladies, let me ask you, would you be offended if your man asked you to give him a DNA test? Even if you know you haven't been with anyone else, would you be offended? And fellas, what do you all think about this? Is this something that, you know what, you on board with this? Like, yeah, it makes total sense. I too would want to get a DNA test, irregardless of the fact that I thought she slept with somebody else or not. I just want to get a DNA test just to be sure. So as we move forward with everything with raising our child, I just want to be sure. I don't want to ever have a question in the back of my mind. Would you all, ladies, would you be offended? And fellas, how do you feel about that? Would you want to request? Is that a valid point? Let's just request the DNA. Let's get it out the way. No harm, no foul. What do you think about that, E? Is that like a legitimate statement for the fellas? Is that something legitimate for them to feel like, listen?
Everything is real. We're not married. If we're not married and you and I just happen to bang whatever, but
he's saying hands down, period. Like,
hey, I mean, I would hope not in the marriage. I would hope that you didn't have to worry about doing that in the marriage. There should be some type of trust there. But if we were dating or just, fooling around, then, I mean, I get it with that aspect. But like I said, I would hope not in the marriage and stuff. Because I had one done. I had 2 of them done. It is what it is. The little girl came out. I looked at her feet. I was like, oh, God. I already know who it is because the feet. And it was Dumbo's, But because, he had this little extra, like, bone fragment. Like, you know how the devil got that little extra little claw on the back of the heel?
Uh-huh.
I slept with the devil. And the devil had that little extra claw. And unfortunately, like, the little girl got the little part of the extra claw. It would have been a full claw, but she wasn't the devil, but she was the devil's spawn. So that little piece of the claw was, like, right there.
Oh,
and so I was like, dang, I already know whose it is. It's a damn shame. But I got a DNA test, and sure enough, Dana did not lie. She was like, "Yeah, you know it's that dude." I was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
I know."
jeez. I mean, considering the day and age in which we live in today, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I'm gonna have to be on board with these DNA tests because it's just too much going on. It's too much trickery going on. So back yesterday, I would have been offended. But with everything going on today, like I'm not even gonna lie, it's not questioning my integrity. Is not. I'm not gonna take it as a personal attack. I'm just gonna take it as, you know what, man, this man, he needs to know, especially if he's been burned before in this area. I mean, so him requesting and him wanting a DNA test may not necessarily have anything to do with me personally. It could just be from past experiences that he's like, listen, yo, I was taking care of a kid that I thought was mine. And now, I mean, this doesn't have, it's not you, but I would feel comfortable. I would feel better if we were able to just take a DNA test and get that out of the way.
I don't know how
Simply,
you can make it, nice, pretty it up for women.
I mean, to me, and if that's the case, like, I mean, today, I wouldn't be like yesterday.
You wouldn't be, but the average woman of today, like the 20-somethings and the 30.
But why would they? They're the reasons why dudes are needing DNA tests. Like, they're the reasons why, a lot of these men are requesting the DNA test because of all of this crazy behavior. Those are the people that,
still
it's
they still would be offended only because, like, how dare you? And men do the same thing that women do, but women carry the child and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, she may be bogus and may be out there loose or whatever, but she still has a right to be offended by you wanting to get a DNA test done. That's the same way as if she said, you know what, I need you to get an STD test, and then you get mad. And though I think it's valid, that you should still get the STD test and stuff done. Why is my eye dripping with oil?
I want us to have, we gotta have the STD test, especially with the way that this mic. I mean, like,
yo, mic is a lip penis.
It is, because you said STD and listen, the test came out positive with this bull junkie over here. Y'all, please disregard this. It may want to be Jill Scotted a little bit. Maybe if I Jill Scott it and just see, if I stroke it up a little bit, maybe it'll act right today. But for some reason, you know what? Okay, I did. Maybe
did it jump? You blowing them, they jump a little bit.
Maybe it'll start acting right. You know what? It's gonna fall again. Cause see, you know what? This that bull junkie that we are dealing. It's just technical difficulties on tonight, like everything. Like this stupid phone just went out. So it's just like, it's going to be one of those things, but watch us make it through. But with the 20s, these, not all, but some women, are definitely, we're lacking integrity in a lot of areas. Yeah. I mean, we're not treating our body like it's a temple. I mean, unfortunately, it's just like, it's being given away. Like, we give it away like any and everybody. Like, okay, listen, I want some. Like it's a buffet. Like, anybody can have some because, that's just the day and age that we're living in. This is just water. That's just water. But it's just like the day and time. This is just the day and age that we're living in where, unfortunately, this has become an issue where, men want to know, like, okay, man, is this really my kid? Because of the housewife, everybody wants to be a housewife. Everybody want to be a bad bee. Everybody want to have a hot girl summer and all this other ish like this. See this bull right here.
Still got your link.
Right. It's just like this that bull right there. Now I know.
So
I have fixed this like 12,000 times. So whenever you feel like you want to come
have
over
a hot
here,
girl summer.
it's-
running from my
oh,
hair.
we are out, we are out of order today. I swear on everything. We are out of order. We are out here living wild today, y'all.
Don't
Wild and reckless. Don't
to the
judge
show
us
drunk.
today.
I
Please
didn't-
don't.
Jamila doesn't drink, but I drank enough for her.
See, that's
And my hair is dripping with oil onto my face. I'm wondering why I got oil running in my eye.
Listen, and I'm over here listen, when I do a mic drop, I want to drop the mic intentionally. If this mic has just been dropping, you know what? I know what it was, because outside, remember we was talking about how big we want our dongs to be. And now,
We had a separate conversation. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. And the producer wasn't here. And I was like, man, if I had a penis, I would just skeet it all over the front door with my big penis. And then she said, well, if she had a big penis, she would have a big one. And I was like, yeah. And she would just, whip it all out.
I'll be just slapping them in the face with it. I said, it might be so big, it would be just called, I want to call it a dong dong. Forget the ding.
Dang.
I got a dong dong over here.
And
That's why this dog, right, and that's why this is acting the way it is. But yeah, I want to have a slong dong if I
Man, ooh, if I was a dude. See, God knew. He was like, nah, these two, you gonna make them women.
right.
I
Listen,
have
give
to.
us the menstrual cramps and all this
Yeah,
other
'cause
stuff
they-
to keep
they for the streets.
us in order, because
And for the sheets.
right, because I would be slonging my dong all around. But you know what?
That made it better though.
It's just a mess over here. But I would be slonging my dong all over. But you know what? My dong ain't gonna be raw dogging now. That's what I'm gonna tell you. My dong will be protected, because I don't want to have these DNA situations. So or STDs. So I will cover my dong up. I would be proud to have my dong and just make sure. Listen, I'll talk to it at night. I'll be like, "How you doing?
I'm good.
Wake up. How you doing? You all right?"
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll make sure my dong is taken care. I would give my dong the best treatment. You think your hoo-ha gets treated.
Your dog.
Oh, my dong would be like, oh my God, my dong would be just, I would wear like the nice underwear and just have just a nice pouch. I might even have a pillow for the head of my dong.
What's that pillow? It's my dong pillow.
It's the dong pillow. Just put your dong, put the head on the pillow.
right there.
Just right there.
Talk
Just,
to it a little
when
bit.
when I sit down, I just have it just sitting on my lap. You know
like
what I'm saying?
that girl.
I would take care
Speaking to the
of
mic.
my dong, and my dong will not be up in just any hoo-ha. You're not gonna contaminate. No, ma'am, you will not have my dong smelling like perch.
I wouldn't have it smelling like perch, but
you're not gonna
I
contaminate
would be
my dong.
like, I would be like the dudes do, and they'd be like, yeah, your little finger touch.
Mm-mm.
I'd be like, wait, or she drop her drawers and then it just hits you like, Joe Frazier boxing you or
See,
something.
I'm gonna train my dong. My dong gonna be trained. My dong gonna be like this. My dong gonna be like, she gonna pull it down, and I'm gonna let my dong make the decision on if we do it or not. Because he look and he be like, well, sugar, you are the weakest link. This dong will not be touching you. This dong is not coming nowhere near you. You will not.
But
this dong
see,
will
I'm
not.
ignorant. I'd be like, what that mouth do?
No. Me and my dong, and my dong, it speaks for itself. My dong, if it's up, you might be like, come over here, check it out. Blow on it. Let's see what you got. If my dong say, and he go back to sleep, I will not be offended, because my dong know what it is that it want. And sugar, it's not you. So my dong is not chasing you. So, God knew what he was doing, giving me the menstrual cramps and all this other stuff, because I would be out here and my dong would just be knocking down doors and just, but only those that it wants to visit. Like, we could be up in there, we could be ooh, hot and heavy, and my dong could be like, yeah, ooh, I'm finna, and then it come out. I'll be like, just stick your head out, just see if you just peep around, just see if this is what you want. And they look, and they like, no. I'm like, all right, well, it's been real. What you mean it's been real? I didn't get. Listen, we don't go everywhere. Okay, listen, my dong knows what it is that it's doing, and guess what? My dong is not doing you.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'd have to be honest, my dong would be a hoe. My dong would be. My
dong ain't going everywhere.
I would have to be when you get the chance to be a dude. Oh man, come here. Let me see what that mouth do. Wait, open it up. Let me see. Wait, I gotta check for swords first.
See, that's why my dong is gonna be looking.
Blow your breath out. Let me smell what your breath.
My dong gonna be like
a rotted teeth, because if it's a rotted tooth back there, you're gonna make the head of my penis.
My dong gonna be
bad.
like,
So
it's been some recent dongs up in there. My dong is like, all right, come on, and I'll be like, all right, come on, down boy. But when it's excited and it's jumping, woo, it's gonna be like, yeah.
With penises, right? Because we don't have that. Like, our coochies don't jump. They jump when we've been with this person and we really like this person, and it pulsates like that. But y'all's penis is like, you touch the tip and it'll jump and stuff, and
jumping. My dong is just like,
so
woo!
cool.
My dong gonna be like, I'll be like, ooh, down boy.
I could play with it like all day long. Like, this is so fun. Like, it was this thing on one of the social media sites, and the person that drew this stick figure, and they was like, if the girl was like, if I was a dude and she had drew the little penis thing with her, and she was jumping up and down and stuff, and the penis was going flip flop like that, like, I would just have so much fun. I would not be productive.
My dong would be like, I'd be like, woo, dong. I'd be like, woo, down boy. What did they say?
Mary said, you can't be thinking with your dong. And then James Starchild said, wait a minute, they don't work like that. You sure? Because I've seen them. My husband's dong, I mess with it, and it jumps at me, and I'm like, oh, wow. And then Pretty Barbie, she says, Brian Richardson, exactly. So Brian said, we were talking earlier about the DNA tests and stuff, and he was like, mama's baby, papa's maybe, DNA test.
That's right. But my dong would know that's not, because like I said, my dong is going to be covered. It will be taken care of. Oh, I was just wear like the prettiest, the coolest, dopest condoms. I'd be like, woo! I just have all kinds of what they say.
He said, Brian Richardson said, this current discussion is why dads constantly tell their sons to stop playing with it. Dads know this would be the conversation if they didn't. I mean, I would play with it. Like, I would be like, oh, like, this is so much fun. Like, we have a coochie. It's a hole.
Right.
It's got a little mouth and a little tongue right there. But there's nothing to, you can't show your friends.
And you can't do all this. I mean, you can keep it pretty and stuff. Like, but that's the only thing that you can do for it. You have to take care of it. Can't be going beating it up. But that dog,
you can do a lot. You be like, I'm going to just tear this up. Put your hand on the back of it like, you can put your hands on your hips.
Yeah. Taking that. Ooh.
And then you look down at her, right?
You doing it right? She
look at you with her eyes opened up, and she, doing her little thing, and you just smiling at her like.
My dog, it'll be like, wait a minute, girl. Wait a minute now. Watch yourself.
Watch your teeth.
Whoa.
Open your mouth a little wider.
Wait a minute. Watch yourself.
Hold your face.
So this is what you have to do, but so that's how I would be. That's how I would take care of my dong if I had a dong. So, again, that's probably why we had all of the technical difficulties. If you all are just joining us, please, listen, we've been having all kinds of technical difficulties up in here on this afternoon. But listen, we thank you all so much for tuning in. So listen, again, before we started talking about what we would do with our dongs, if we had dongs, because like I said, mine would be so big. Forget the ding. I don't want him to give me a ding. I want a dong. That's what I want. I would want a dong.
Donkey Kong.
Dong. That's what I'm going to call it. Dong. Now, would I want to be with a dude that had a dong?
No. Hell no. You're not putting that in me. No. Are you serious? Put it in yourself first. And if it fit in you, it still can't go in me because something wrong with you. But if I was a dude, I would want, a big one.
I would have to have a dong.
But I want
but as a
woman,
woman,
have a hook. It's got to have a hook.
you know, but as a woman, just listen. We're not trying to
Hey,
give no
Keisha.
hysterectomies and all this other stuff. But I would definitely want the equipment to be able to, clean out a few wombs here and there. That's what I would want. Well,
So Brian put a link up in there, and it says, "Teen dies from heart attack and penis falls off masturbating."
Because that
You
means
can't
he
kill
was killing
yourself.
that
See,
sucker.
I
That's
wouldn't
what I'm saying.
masturbate like that.
I wouldn't either.
I would play with it. Like, I wouldn't be jacked. That's the difference between men and women. If women had penises, we have our coochies.
We would
don't
take
masturbate
care
all the time.
of it.
We
Right.
would
You gotta
nurture
take
it. We would
care
love
of
it. We wouldn't be beating
He
it,
just-
but we'd whip it out and show it. I put a bow tie
See,
on my
this,
little
he
penis.
was doing it like this and just not
You know, just
handling
going
it.
crazy
He
with
wasn't
it. You
handling it
disrespecting the
properly. You know
penis.
what I'm saying?
You don't
He wasn't
disrespect it.
laying the dong on the dong pillow
Pillow,
like we talked
yes.
about earlier. He
Talk
didn't
to
have the
it.
right underwear. It's
Yeah,
a lot of
it's a
things,
lot.
so you have to take care of
The feeling.
your dong.
Yes.
Y'all can have ding dongs.
You
I
get
want a
your
dong.
dong.
I have a dong.
I would have a Donkey Kong. Oh, Reverend Darren is watching. Hey, Rev.
Oh, Reverend. Well,
Hallelujah.
let's hear amen.
We got here somehow and wasn't us looking at one another. We were playing with
But listen,
penises.
you all, we're going to take a short musical break.
Short.
And when we return, we have more hot topics that have absolutely nothing to do with dong dongs.
No, it
So
doesn't.
you're listening to the
J
J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yes, sir. I would definitely be throwing. Ooh, let me see if I can throw this down. So if you want to, maybe we can get a little help over here because this is
I don't
definitely
think you would throw your dong because the way you're working that mic, it's not gonna work.
right. I'm just like, good Lord Almighty. I hope I'm not in this camera over here. I probably am.
So
Because this be the bull that's always happening. And this is, this is just, is this your camera that I'm standing all in? How you put your fingers in there? Yeah. Because I got a slong dong.
that's what happens when you have a big penis. When you have a big penis, it can't hold that, everything.
And it can't
up.
hold this
And
correctly.
she's got a big heavy phone on this thing. And
My dong is king.
and now she's out of the picture.
Okay, I think oh, jeez, this is so Hey, y'all. Oh, maybe I could just turn the light a little bit. You see how she just does it so right? Yeah, see, I would totally abuse my dong. No, I wouldn't. My dong would be taken
I
care
wouldn't
of.
use it.
I would
But,
just lay it, like the song say, lay your head on my pillow, I would lay my dong like, ooh, especially in job interviews, I would definitely have my dong laying right on, just right there.
You know that's sexual harassment, and they don't have to take that.
I'm laying my dong on the dong pillow. It will be on the dong pillow, and I'll be sitting there doing my interview. I'm gonna get every job. And how do you know my dong is right there? Because you're looking at my dong.
I just don't want an ashy one. I've seen an ashy one.
You seen an
Someone
ashy
sent me a
dong?
picture
Oh,
of the dog, and I sent it to a friend of mine. She was like, "Why is it ashy?" I don't
that
know.
means it smells.
It was ashy, and I was just like,
Smelly dong. Don't nobody
I
want
don't
no
know why it's
smelly
ashy.
dong. Like
"You got an ashy." You got an ashy dog. Man.
this is
She's got an ashy
a
dog.
smelly. Who wants a smelly?
Hey,
no.
ladies, Michelle. Hey, green,
No
green eyed.
smelly dongs. No smelly dongs. It's just like, no dongs. Like, we got a dong here, a dong there, but I would have a ding dong.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. On intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, Lay right.
I'm dripping, not how I want to be.
Sex kid. Hey, E, how you doing tonight?
I don't
Feel a
think
little
it's
drip?
gonna be sexy.
Got a little drip drip?
Yeah.
Got a little drip going?
Not
Got,
how I want to be
got a
dripping.
little drip? No, it ain't that problem. See,
No.
he said, open the door.
It's not gonna cool anything off. I put some oil in my hair before I came in here, and it's like my scalp is like helpful. We have enough oil on us, so we're gonna just ooze on down to your forehead and drip all in your eye. So that's what's going on.
See, and you know what, guys? It's typically me. So I'm so thankful that today, right now, is not me because, well, let me take that back. A few minutes ago, it was me. Got mics falling, phones falling, all kinds of stuff. But it looks like you all, we got it together. So we want to thank you all so much for joining us and tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, listen, tonight we are being brought to you by flowershopcbd.com. Guys, she has the edibles, CBD edibles. She has t-shirts. She has the smokables. Listen, go to her page. Check it out. flowercbdshop.com. Use reference code J, Jaye. We're also being brought to you by the J Spot Airbnb. You all, oh my goodness, it has been an amazing summer over there. So definitely do me a favor, check out the link, share it, book today, save, refer to somebody, but do something.
Having technical difficulties.
Listen, we're having some minor technicalities. You about to look, see, you all
That's better though. Look, it's better.
just see how the downfall set us up for a comeback.
Won't he do it?
We're also being brought to you by Delaware
Delaware.
Inc. You all definitely go to his page, take a look, place your order. He has his spring and now summer line out as well. He has some amazing colors, you all. The t-shirts are very, very comfortable, very great material. Check them out, Delaware Inc. Use reference code J, and again, that's Jaye. We're also being brought to you by BK the Barber. E, tell them how they can get faded and lined up. And I'm out of it. Like they only got like half of me. Half that is.
There you go.
Okay.
Look at you. All of you. So BK the Barber, also aka Brian Richardson, he's in the comments. BK the Barber is located in Spring, Texas, 3000 Spring Cypress Road, Suite D in Spring, Texas, 77388. Go to bookski.com and look for Freelance Barbershop or BK the Barber and book your appointments today. He is back in town because we had a great time out of town at my brother's wedding.
Yes, you all. So thank you all so much for tuning in with us tonight. Please, again, guys, do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. Now listen, while you're at it, go ahead on around the corner right there to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, the J Spot Radio. And again, that's Jaye. You all, today is just some ish in the air. Listen, some gonna go out, some gonna fall again, some gonna anything. Listen, I may even belch. Anything.
It's bound
listen,
to happen.
wait a minute. Listen, what about passing? Anything could happen. I'm not trying to discuss y'all, but I'm just trying to, let y'all know the way everything Smith been falling. Just expect the unexpected. But guess what? We know how to roll with the punches, and we're gonna keep this thing moving. Now, listen, you all. Our next hot topic. Now, I don't know if Lord, please don't let me be this petty. I feel like I can be, but I don't want to be, but I'm just like, because when I looked at how they did this young girl, I'm like, dang, that is real wrong. But I do feel like I kind of got these kind of tendencies. So the young man, he introduces his parents to the young lady that he's talking to. And so this was their first time meeting her. And so when they saw her, first of all, they really didn't acknowledge her. And then when they did, they kind of just like umphed her off, and they were like, oh, this is who you're with? Oh, I mean, okay, she's okay. I mean, I thought that you could have done a little bit better, but I mean, okay, let's just go. And that's what they said, like totally in this young girl's face. Now, let me say this. This young lady was a nice, respectable looking young lady. She was not a young lady with all the eyelashes and all of, just all of the extra fra. She was not that young lady. And his mother and his father were just like, okay, I mean, like, she's okay. Like, I can't see you all together, but like, okay, like, would you all do that? Could you judge just like flat out dead smack in their face, like criticize or critique the person that your child brought home to meet you, especially if they were not up to your standards? Would you do that to in their face, or would you why you looking at me? I said that I'm trying to change. I don't know. I don't know, like,
I'm just ignorant because my children know me, and my son has brought home girls, and my daughter has brought home some people, guys, whatever. And if I just can't do it, I'm just gonna resort up to my room and call it a day and go to sleep, and then tell them to come here and tell them to please tell that person to go home. I'm not rude because I understand your feelings, and they're young and everything, but no.
I'm just like, please don't let me be this mother, because like I was so ashamed for the young lady, and she was a cute little girl. Like, there was nothing wrong. The way that they reacted to her
was bogus, and I wouldn't do that.
Was unnecessary, because she did not present herself like that. Now, I can see if it was somebody that may have presented themselves in a way that you'd be like, oh, okay, I can see that, but this was not that type of situation. So I'm just like, but even still with that, I definitely want to be mindful of people's feelings. So, and I know that sometimes my facial expression can be very, very not, very, very, my facial expressions betray me, I would say, because if it's some bull, I'm just like, see, that's that bull right there. But I try to be nice. But I know it was this one girl that my son, he was just crazy over her. And, I would see her, and I didn't care for this chick. I didn't. But he had his head up in the clouds at the time. And I'm like, listen, tell your little friend, I hadn't already told him, now listen, when you give your kid the disclaimer and they don't pass it along, then I feel like, okay, I'm entitled to act however I act if you don't pass my disclaimer along. So I didn't like the chick, because I'm like, first of all, I saw the ish that she was trying to get my son involved in. And I'm just like, little girl, you do not know your head would be all up in this ice cream, up in this restaurant. I don't play over my son. So whenever I would go to the establishment, she would always, where's your, I'm like, this ain't that. This ain't that. Don't ask me how my son is. Do you see? You talk to him. Just take my order. I'm not here to lollygag about my son, because I don't play those type of games with you, because I got your number. Even though he may not, I got your number.
You peeped the trap.
I peeped it.
And
I peeped. I'm like, listen, she don't even know. She don't even know. And so I say, hey, listen here. You tell her, don't talk to me. Okay. I'm not her friend. I'm a customer. I don't have a problem. I'm going to be pleasant. Listen, take your order. Good morning. How you doing? Listen, this is what we do. Don't ask me no personal questions about my son, because you're going to get the stone face. So you ready to take my order? You're going to sit here and still ask me questions about my son. Which one is going to be? Okay, and that's how I kept it because I'm not your friend. And so he asked me, "Did you really do that? Did you really do that?"
And I did.
And we'll do it again. So once we got those technicalities out the way, needless to say, now whenever she saw me, listen, we take my order and that's it. And you all, believe me, I kept an eye on her. Listen, you give me, listen, go wash your hands before you get my donut. Let me lean over that counter and make sure you ain't hawking in my, hawking in my coffee or,
See,
you got to do that.
So,
But
see, I wouldn't do
I
that.
don't know. I wouldn't. And I don't think that was rude. Just don't ask me about my son because I know that you on some bull. And if he want to have his head in the clouds, his head can be in the
Don't
clouds.
involve you into it.
Right. My head ain't in the clouds.
You could peep that. You peep the
and,
hole.
And if something go down, I'm peeping where.
But that's what a lot of these children nowadays, they don't have whole radar. These boys don't have whole radar.
At all. And she was raggedy. She was trailer. I'm like, dude, you finna. I was mad for so many different reasons about this doggone. I'm like, and see, this is where I come up with my term bottom basement. This is some just, needless to say, I was so glad when that ish ended. But again, I did my best to not make her feel some type of way, but I did put her in her place. I'm not your friend, and I don't like what you're trying to.
Best to make her feel, not make her feel some type of way.
I did.
The lies we tell.
I did, because I didn't call her what I wanted to call her. And I didn't say anything.
I think you called me that day and had me on speakerphone and told me to tell her how you felt. And I called her a bald-headed scallywag.
No, that was somebody else. That was somebody else. But again, I mean, like, as I'm dealing with this, with my son dating and, bringing women around, and I'm just like, okay, I just have to give me some business. And several people have told me to give me some business, and I do have some business. I really do. I have a lot of business, but I still have time to be in his business too. So don't think that, just because I have business, trust me, I have business of my own, but I'm a mother. We multitask. That's what we do. So I got my business in my calendar, and I got his business in my calendar as well. That's why you have a calendar, so you can organize and prioritize.
Everybody's business.
So nothing goes unattended. But he like, you know what? I'm gonna call such and such on you because this don't make no sense. When he get to get mad, and when he's like, oh, see, you doing too much, Mom, you doing too much. Then you get to calling and texting folks like who you gonna call? Like, I'm scared of M1 or purpose that you finna call and try to tell on me with. Like, who? Which one? Then I start getting phone calls. I'm just like, hot dog, this boy really went up in there and I called these folks, I told these folks, but do it stop me? No. So what I'm saying is, don't let it stop you. But let's just use a little tact and a little decorum because, these young folks ain't, they not made like we was. But the thing is, listen, I done met some mothers, listen, and I will say, I have never met a mother that does not love me. I have never met a mother that did not rock with me at all. Still to this day, I rock with all mothers. Like, I mean, like we be like this. Now they sons, I be just like, I don't know, like, how did you, this came from you. Like, so he must take out his daddy because what I'm seeing from you, he don't get this from you. But I've never had a mother that didn't like me. What about you? Have you ever had a mother? You've had a mother that didn't like you? I've never had a mom that didn't like me.
Oh, if I wasn't drunk.
No, I've never had a mom that didn't like
Let's
me.
go to the comments.
You all ladies, have you ever had a mom that didn't like you? Fellas, have you ever had
initially
a woman that your mom that you were really into, but your mom, she didn't like the woman?
You know what, honestly, okay. Even with, my husband, right? My husband's mother doesn't like me. My mom did not like my husband.
Oh.
But it was because of being young and us being in high school and stuff. And my husband and I, we were trying to elope in high school and have a baby in high school and everything. And my mother could not stand him. And then I totaled his car in high school, so his mom couldn't stand me for that. And
Okay.
at one moment, she did like me because she was my mentor. I was in 4-H and I had wanted to be a lawyer. And she is a paralegal and stuff. And so when they gave us our mentors, her boss was my mentor and he was busy. So I had to mentor, I shadowed underneath of her. And so I got to, meet her and everything else. And we had a great relationship until I told her, and it was accidental. It was straight, like everybody knew.
I wouldn't like you either. If you totaled my son's car, I would not like you either. I just would not. But like y'all gave them valid reasons to look
But
at
that
y'all
was
sideways.
teenagers, like that's teenagers. So
Be like,
and like now, so we went to Jersey for my brother's wedding and everything, and I was telling my husband, I was like, my mom, I said, she didn't like you. He was like, yeah, I knew. But I said, my mom adores you now. She does, because she's over the fact that we were teenagers and
Right.
stuff, and we had our son and everything, and she's always, when we grew up, she looked at him like he's a really nice man, and that's how she always said. So when we reconnected and everything, and when we reconnected as far as just being parents for our son, she still never had anything negative to say about him. So I told her, I was like, go to my mom. She's going to give you a hug. And her hugs are like, they're awesome. My mother gives you the best hugs. Like, you feel the love from my mom when she gives you a hug and stuff. And so he gave my mom a hug. And I was like, did you feel? He was like, yeah, she gives really nice hugs. I'm like, my mom, she don't hug everybody. But when she hugs you, if she likes you, she'll hug you. And when she hugs you, you be like, oh my goodness, like, you just want to stay right there in my mom's arms. Like, it's that.
okay,
amazing.
Mama Virgin, you owe me one because I've never gotten one. So you owe me one after all of these years, and we still together. You owe me one. But I've tried. Again, like I said, I want to be that mom, but I know I'm petty, you all. So that's why I'm asking you all to just please keep me lifted, because, like, when my son's like, with his little friends, they've seen me. Oh Lord, I'm so horrible. Even with, okay, you know what? I just had like a revelation. Like, oh, I am horrible, because when my little sister, oh man, when she would used to bring guys home, oh, we were, oh Lord, she would tell you if she's on, she would tell you, like, they would come, don't come to pick this one up right here, and you giving your little street name, what your little friends call you. I'm like, one little boy, he said his little nickname or his street name. I say, what's the name that your mama and them got on your birth certificate? That's the name that I want to know. And so at the time, she was looking like, oh my God, like she used to be so embarrassed. She used to always be like, Mom, she's always acting like she's my mom. She's not my mom. You're my mom. You don't even do that. I said, because I'm just trying to make sure that she gonna be all right. I say, and one little boy, I told him, something happened to her, something has happened to you. And she looked like, oh my God, Mama, do you hear what she's... I say, I'm just saying, like, because sometimes they'll think that because they didn't see a father, well, her father, he passed away. Mm. So now that we are the protectors, and we're gonna protect her. So something happened to her, that's your end. So that's why I need to know your name. I'm like, where you stay at? Oh my God, she looking like, oh, she is asking too much.
No, she not.
I say, I just want to know where we gotta find you at, because when we run up on you.com, we gonna know. Listen, let something happen to her. So I'm trying to move past from that approach, because I'm like, okay, maybe that was a little bit too extra back, that was a few years ago. So I've definitely tried to calm down a bit. But I mean, I just have like a really protective, a protective streak, and it comes in a good way. Like, I've even done that to my nieces. And so yeah, my son, he gonna put me in a room by myself, with as I'm telling y'all this stuff, I'm like, yeah, he probably gonna put me up in the room. I probably should have had another kid, so at least I could just flip a flip a coin and maybe one of them, would keep me. But if I keep on with these antics, he's definitely gonna put me in the room. So I just ask you all, please write to me, just send me cards and it'll be a room in some mental ward. That's where he's gonna definitely put me. Like, he's not gonna put me in no senior citizen home. He gonna put me in a mental room with just all I can do is just hug myself. So y'all don't let them do it to me like that. But I definitely would do my best to not be rude to her. But whatever feedback that I have for her, I'm definitely gonna share it to my son in private. But again, it would be more fun if she was like if she had been one of them little chicks that had then you can go there. But it's like, if somebody is timid and they're putting their best foot forward, then I'm automatically putting my best foot forward, unless my face betrays how I really think. And that's a lot of times, that's often. So I definitely, let me meet them in the summertime so I can have shades on, so at least I can hide.
The sun comes out in the morning.
But you know what? That's okay. But you know what? You're right. So I'm have to have my little blue blockers on so that I can be like, this chick right here. At least my eyes, when they go cross and when they roll, nobody would see them. And then I can just keep my smile, because I know how to smile and roll my eyes at the same time. You guys, it's a gift. It's a trick. Just practice it in the mirror. But I definitely would not want to be rude to them. But again, I've never met a mom that did not like me. So like I say, the way they sons end up feeling, now that's a whole different story. A whole lot of them don't like me. But the mothers, I win. I win.
I do
mothers
over. Most I'm trying to think, like, I do win most of them over and stuff. But the very, very first year, she adored me. The second one, no, she don't like me because I broke that card. That was accidental.
So now listen, you all, the next hot topic. Now see, okay, this next hot topic, we talking about mothers and kids and all this ish. Now look, what do you guys think about this? The guy says that, okay, the mother gets food stamps, okay? She gets, support from the state. But the kids are going with the dad for the summer. So they're asking, they want to know, this father wants to know, does the food stamp card, go with him for the summer? Since he's going to have the kids for the summer, does the food stamp card go with him? Now, I know some of you all may be like, oh my God, Jay, I cannot believe you are talking about food stamps. Let's be real. This is a real situation that occurs so many times. So people want to know that are in this situation. It may not be your situation, but there's somebody under the sound of my voice that this situation it pertains to. That's why they asked. So what do you all think? If y'all want to talk to us tonight, 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. The kids are going with the dad for the summer. The mom receives food stamps. Should that food stamp card go with the kids, with the dad for the summer, or should that card stay with the mom? What are your thoughts on that, guys? What do you guys think about that? Should the card go with the mom? E, what do you think about that?
So the right thing would be to say, well, the card should go with the father. Unfortunately, so we just came out of the pandemic and everything, and the lockdown and stuff, and the government gave everybody who had a child that was in school the pandemic card, EBT card, and and I didn't get one because when we had moved or whatever, the school district we had moved like 4 years prior, but the school district never changed my old address. So the card went to my old address. And so when I tried to retrieve it, still, nothing. It just went back to the state or whatever. So I just left it alone. So I was like, well, let me see, it's been all these months and now like a year and a half had passed by and I still had never gotten this card. So I contacted the state, got the card or whatever. And I sent my son to boarding school. And before he went to school, I packed up and bought him all these groceries and everything for his school. But the majority of that card It stayed with me. Everything was real. I had me some oxtails. I ate good. Why wouldn't it? Mr. Brian Richardson, he says, why wouldn't it? Unless she is storing food while they're gone. Yes, he should get the card. It's for the kids. And I get that. And that's the right thing to say. It really is. I just love to cook. And so I was like, well, but what I did do with him, like my son is spoiled rotten. And thank God for how the internet and everything is now. So what I did was I had ordered him stuff on Amazon and other stores and stuff, and I used the card to buy him certain foods and stuff that he wanted and everything. But that card stayed with me. I bought me some oxtails and stuff. He was down there. I'm having a big girl's dream. I bought me some crab legs, had me a seafood bowl and everything, some lamb. I love me some lamb and stuff. I mean, everything is just real.
So now,
But if it was his father, say if he's going to, my husband, we're not together, and he's going to spend the summer with my husband and stuff. Yeah, I would be like, here you go. Knock yourself out, enjoy yourself, whatever. It might be $200 up on the card. That's not that's not me. But I would give him the card, or I would be like, you know what? I went grocery shopping with it all or whatever. Let me give you these groceries and stuff, because since he's going to be there with you, at least that way I know that he's good. Y'all are good to go. You don't have to worry about anything. Or I'm going to cook and then just send you food and stuff, because at the end of the day, this is still my child, and my child has to eat. And my husband or even his father didn't make him and create him by himself, and we created that child together. So I'm still going to make sure that he's okay, and even my husband or his father is okay. I'm not going to just, and the way my son is, he wouldn't just accept food for himself. He's a very selfless person. So he would be like, and he's done it before, he'd be like, Mom, can you put a plate aside for, so and so and so? So I'm like, oh,
now listen, I love my son, but I promise you, selfless, man, I love him. I love him to pieces, but yeah, that brother right there, in his own time, he'll do whatever he want to do, but I can't say right off the bat, he gonna be selfless. I just can't. I love you though. I know he probably looking. I love you, but I know you. But guys, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about if the kids go away with the father for the summer and she gets food stamps or the food stamp card or whatever they're doing, does that food stamps or does that card go with the father with the kids for the summer? So I would think that, like, yes, if all of the kids are going with their father, then that's where the kid, because the food stamps are for the kids. So, I mean, I would totally send the card, because I would want to make sure that my kids are being fed and that they're being taken care of, that the way that they're supposed to. So I'm like, plus, sure, enjoy y'all vacation and let me enjoy mine. And I don't want to have to be worried about, if they're eating or whatever. But I totally think that that's the right thing to do. But again, I mean, I understand, situations occur where that may not always be feasible, but it's just like, if all of the kids are going and the mother, if you're working, then you know what I'm saying? I don't know, like, let's just make that work. But sometimes, it should go with the father. That's just how it should hands down go with the father, because you want to make sure that the kids are being taken care of. That's
so
just
Erica Baker says,
hey, Erica.
It comes from the respect level in the relationship. And then Brian Richardson says, wait, I'm reading it wrong.
Paul Durr.
No, Paul, he's there, we're having a conversation. But
Paul says, yeah, the card
goes
for, so you can grab something to eat. The card, the card goes with them. That's what
crab leg all summer long. He also says crab legs all summer long. See, Paul, you're not right, because she gonna be mad. The mama gonna be mad because he eating good with the crab legs and the corn and everything, little boiled egg and everything, and she'll be like, dang, I should never give him that card.
But see, I guess I don't know. Erica, she's saying different strokes for all these folks. Kimberly saying, I would send the card so they don't call me for nothing. Hey, Kim, how you doing? That's my cousin.
True.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I would do.
I would definitely send it, because I want to make sure that they're, and here's the thing. I'm not going to be monitoring if he's eating crab legs or whatever, because I know that when I have the card, I'm eating crab legs and I'm eating
But see-
good and doing. I mean, it's like all is fair. He got the kids for the summer. I'm not gonna be policing the car.
But I would
Just like I don't want him to
the
police
thing.
the car when it's with me.
I'm more so like, okay, if you're the type of person that you cook, right? If you, cook,
you gotta
then
go
I'm
buy
like,
your own
okay,
stuff.
I'm not worried about it because okay, you cook. Woo. But if I know that you don't cook, and my husband swear up and down he can cook. He said he can outcook me or whatever.
But they with him for the summer,
But
so he
I'm
want to get them
still like-
sandwiches and all.
no,
but
because
they with
I
him
don't
for the
want him to
summer.
survive off of oodles and noodles.
That's how they living for the summer. They
no,
with they
I can't.
They
do
with
it.
their
I'm like,
daddy, so whatever he feed them. So if he want to feed them Cheetos and juice for the summer, and they listen, that's how they rocking. Again, that's what
that would
I'm
work.
like.
My last.
It
I'd be
would
like,
work my nerve, but
yes.
I can't tell if they're not in harm's way. I cannot.
It is
because-
harm's way
Nope.
because it's their health.
I don't like
I'm
it.
like,
We don't like it, but they not in danger. You don't like it that he's spitting. You know, you don't like
Like,
it. That's
but
one
what?
thing for not
I
to like
gave him
it.
a whole bunch of hot dogs and oodles and noodles. Like,
That's how he rolling. He like, listen, and guess what? Them kids ain't finna complain not one time because they're
that's
kicking
the
it,
problem.
having a good time with
I'm
their
like,
daddy. So we gonna let
Did you
them.
give them a vegetable?
Nope.
No, and they be like, no.
They had some applesauce or they had some grape juice. That's all the fruit that they're gonna need because they with their daddy. And see, a lot of times that's when we have to draw the line at. Like, we can't be trying to, well, you got to make sure that you feed them a meat. They need their meat, their carb, and their vegetables.
No, but
He ain't cooking like that.
I need them to have like a vegetable. So then Mr. Richardson says, the old folks would say too much like right. Oh, my boy. And then Pretty Barbie. She said she loves seafood and crab legs.
So Erica, she's saying some people actually think they take turns. Anitra is saying, what if all the children aren't going? What if some are staying? Then I would say
Then
for
you
that
have to
case,
go, I would go shopping for what's in my house, and I would give, and I would divide it. I would say, so say if there is like, if it's for this is where you get it month to month, but say if this the first of the month, then I would have to see him on the first of the next month. I'd be like, if we get $600 right now, then I'm going to take, 300 or whatever, depending on how, if you got the majority of the children, then I'm gonna take 200 of it and feed what's here, and then you take the rest and knock yourself out, and then when the next month comes around, go ahead and go shopping for them, and then leave me this 200, and we'll go back and forth with the card and stuff.
right. And here's the thing too. Again, when you're doing that, and listen, I'm gonna tell y'all just how some of us where we get stuck at. What they saying?
Rochelle says she would not send the card with the kids. I had to figure out a way to feed the kids. That's why I have the card. Let him figure out a way to feed them and apply for his own card. I'm just saying.
So, like I say, I understand that, but again, the card is for the kids, so I definitely would, I definitely would send it. But again, what we have to also understand is here's a real situation as well. Let's just add to that.
Hey,
Some of us, we can get so extra about stuff like this because then we'll be like, you cannot put no stipulations on that card. And he better not be feeding that B and her kids with my card.
I like
No.
what Erica said. Erica says some men won't ask and most women won't offer.
Yeah, true. But this situation, like I said, when we add in, don't, and you better not be feeding that B and her kids with my card and the kid card. No, don't
It's
even
not
do
so
that.
deep.
Don't even do that, because here's the thing. When you invite dude over and you cook for him, guess where that food coming from? From that card. And see, that's the thing. We got to stop. We keep up so much mess amongst trying to co-parent that we stand in our own way of making things move smoothly because we trying to control the other person. Listen, it's the card. The card is for the kids. Now, if you got somebody that's not trustworthy, you know that they not gonna do right with the card and you will never get the card back, then you gotta make a smart decision what's gonna work for that particular position. But for the most part, if you got somebody and you just simply not gonna get a card because, like somebody said in the comments, you had to get the card, so they have to figure out their own way, but you figured out a way to feed y'all kids, and that was to get the card. So the card is to benefit, the kids. Anitra, she's saying compromise is everything, and so the kids won't suffer. Rochelle is saying there is a lack, and that's why they don't have the card. Where is the child support? Use that money to feed the kids. That's a good part to it too.
But
So
why not?
do
Okay.
you stop the child support? Not for the summer, you don't, because you can take too much time to go back and forth for the child support in the summertime. So I would definitely not modify that
But I
that
have a friend-
order. But I would send the money if it's that deep. Like I would
Exactly.
send the money because again, it's for the kids.
I had a
So
friend who took her guy out for child support, and they lived together. And when what she did was he had to pay court order child support, and they lived together. And she just gave the money back to him, because they lived together and stuff. But she, told him that I was taking you for child support and stuff. And when she did move out or whatever, then she did collect the child support. She kept the child support, but when she moved back in with him, she gave him back his money and then pulled him off of child support. And so if it was me and I'm in the situation and he has the children for the summertime, I'm going to give you back the child support, because if we're, the children are with you, why should I hold the child support? And I got the card too. And no, here's it. Especially now, you got to have all the children. Now you can't just have some of the children. Everything's real.
or he got all your kids. You gotta have all your kids. See, because like you can't be holding somewhere. I still got my 2 kids over here from this person. So, but no, you all that child support is for his children. That got to go. But I'm only speaking from an aspect of having one kid. So I'm like, I don't know how it is to have multiple kids, like have these multiple situations going on. But I do know this, like when I got child support, it was for child support. So when my son went on to go to college and we were still collecting child support, I sent him his child support. Like he got that child support until it ran out, because it wasn't for me. Like it was, I'm like, I
But see,
worked.
that's because your stuff was current.
But and it was still like the behind part, like, but it was behind, it was some arrearages there. So it's like from the moment that he graduated from high school and he was on his own, I sent his child support to him. I didn't feel like, okay, well, he's grown now. This my money. I'm on, he owed this to me and this and that. No, I mean, like, it's his child support. And I mean, and I'm not saying everybody's in position to do that, but it's like, if you are, then to me, that's like the right thing to do, because again, it's child support. I didn't take you to child support so that I can sit up and get my hair and my nails done. That's what I work for.
Exactly.
That's what I work my job for, to take care of myself. And it's a lot of men that get that, they're under that misconception of, oh, well, she getting her hair and her nails. Honey, that's what I work for. That's what I work for. I don't work. I'm not sitting up waiting for your child support check to come. Your child support is to support your child. Like, so that's the thing that always kind of got me. But again, I understand that everybody don't live under that. Everybody don't live under that umbrella. I mean, like, some people are literally just waiting for the child support check to come. But I'm like, I'm just thankful that I was not that person. And I just want to be fair and be fair to my child, because again, this is supposed to be, it's supposed to be geared for that. So like, it's just a whole different ball game when you're talking about child support. But if they are with him for the summer, again, I'm not going to go to court to try to modify the order, because it takes 6 months to a year just to get the court.
So that's what I'm saying. It would be easier
to just give them, give them the money
for the summer. I'm gonna go ahead and let the child support stay, but what I will do is give you the money back, so that way you got the children. Here's the money. Here's the car. Right, exactly, and knock yourself out. And when the summer's over with, hey,
we're gonna
go back to the normal and stuff, and we're gonna keep it moving, and it's gonna be okay.
But that's what people that are thinking and trying to do the right thing by the kids. Like, this is for people. This type of conversation is for people that are not in their feelings about each other. They still in their feelings. They still having a tug of war. You still mad because he done moved on with somebody else. She's still mad. Listen, no, ain't nobody got time for all that.
Favorite. Hey, L Genius. He says, damn, child support. Thank God I don't have kids.
Hey, L Genius. It's just.
Jay misses you, L Genius.
Rochelle, she says, I would send the money because I want him to see it's not entangled. let him take care of the kids off of it. Erica, she's saying at some point, us as adults have to make better decisions for the kids. Why should children hear how they gonna eat or what bills are not paid?
Exactly.
That's a whole different debate. I feel the same way, but most of these men and women are lacking themselves. It's just like, again, like Erica was saying, we have to, as adults, have this whole different conversation, and the kids should not hear it. Again, a lot of times I feel like, it's still some unresolved issues, but once we start totally and completely putting the needs of the kids and what's best for the kids, and you not worried about who he got over here and she not worried about who he got over there, once y'all start worrying about what each other got going on and who y'all got it going on with, and just focus on y'all kids, then we can move forward. And then this is how we have situations like this. But we got to get to this point, because look at how some of these kids are. Like, these folks are great. These folks are unbalanced, unstable, just man. But again, the card, if the father is getting the kids for the summer, I think that the right thing to do is the card goes with the father. And if there was child support involved, then you should, definitely send that child support, for the kids as well. But also,
and even to make it easier, if you want, open up a bank account for the child and the child support, and then you and the father are like, listen, this is the money for, since you have them for the summer, instead of you don't have to withdraw anything from your account. Here's a card, access to him. I'm going to lock the card, after the summer is over with. But while you have, junior, tink, or whatever, here's the card, here's your baby, here's the other card. That way you can feed, clothe, and everything else, take them on trips or whatever you want to do with them. But this is where it gets tricky, though.
I ain't putting my name on nothing with
It's
you.
not that.
Not with no
that.
bank account card. I'll just Zelle you or whatever.
I'll
send
have
your
the
money
children.
order.
If I'm the guy and I have the children for the summer, why am I paying you child support? Shouldn't you pay me child support?
But you only got because you only got them
But still.
That's that bull.
See, but still.
But you know what? That is a good point, though. So do I get off? That's a good point. Do I get off for the summer? So no.
You don't get off. It should be, okay, Bet, since you got the children and you have given me the child support for XYZ, and I'm
That's
not going to
a really
put the
good
court
point.
order in, I'm going to give you back your money. Plus, I'm going to match and give you the child support that you would pay
I
me.
like that.
So therefore, I'm doing my duty as a mother and parent also and giving you the child support. I know a lot of females be like, you lost your rabbit ass spot, Angela. But that's just real, though.
That's
just
a real question. Absolutely.
Because you have to be fair, and then you don't want any friction when it comes to parenting, co-parenting and stuff. You all may not work together when it comes to you all having a relationship. It's not about you, but now you all have these children involved, and it's fair to that person that they've paid you XYZ for these babies throughout the year, and now that they have their children, it's time for you to, maybe that cruise, you can't go on that cruise this summer. You should have knew that you was trying to book that cruise for the summer. So you should have been like, you know what? I know I'm going to have to put this money to the side and give him this money for these babies because they ain't going on the cruise with me. So I'm going to have to do a little overtime or something. But what he gives me for child support, I got to give what he gives me back, plus match what he gives me back, so.
That's a good, Rochelle is saying, good question. Erica, she's saying balance.
Not doing that.
Rochelle saying nope. Sinitra says, so that's where we have to help our men out with your state reps. Rochelle said, nope, not doing that. Erica, she's saying, good word, fair. Rochelle said, I spend more when they are with me 10 months out of the year. So soak it up and deal with it. So
that's where the unbalance is at, because that's not fair. Yeah, you spend more because you have them and stuff, and then the 2 months, and it might be where you may get them 8 months out the year. He may have them for holidays, Christmas, whatever. But if you know that, okay, for the whole summer they're going to be, and this is the summer, It's not like it's the wintertime. Y'all ain't going nowhere in the wintertime. Y'all in the house. Let's be real. You use that money just the same way I use my house. It's gonna cover these lights and everything else, whatever. Because these children are make up a utility, so they're gonna cover these utility bills and some of this rent because they gotta lay their heads here. He's got to deal with the same thing because they still got to lay somewhere in that man's house and stuff. They still got to eat. They're still running up an electric bill, utility bill, the water bill, or whatever. So you have to be fair. They still got to get summer clothes. So why is it that he's got to pay double? I still paying you. Plus, they ain't with you. Okay, you returning my money, but I'm still out because that's my money. And he didn't skeet these babies. He did skeet them out on his own, but that was your egg.
Right.
They went to your
That
egg.
was
So you had them. So it's not fair. You still have to be reasonable in it and be like, you know what? Though, like I said, a lot of women be like, you lost your rabbit ass mind.
That was a good question, and that's really fair too, though. Like you said, you have to send your support as well. And again, a lot of us will just be all up again, but that's where we be all up in our feelings. But what's right is right, because again, if we're hollering, you know, what just like you said, for the lights, the gas, and all this other stuff, and I gotta pay for all of that stuff. Well, now they over there with him.
Now
They running up his lights,
now.
his gas, his all of this. So why is it the argument is okay for us, but it's not okay when they're doing it, you know, when they're with them for the summer? So that was definitely a great. Oh, I love that. Oh my God, I love
more than water in this
that
cup.
twist to it. And you know what? But it's what's right is right. And again, when we ready to have this grown man, grown woman conversation that's strengthening relationships, one conversation at a time, this is how we're strengthening it. Because again, everybody not ready for these conversations.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so real and it's so relevant to so many people. And we're at odds about, people are at odds with this right now. We're dead smack in the summertime, and somebody is going through this. A few somebodies are going through this because they're like, okay, well now he get a chance to see what I have to deal with. Okay, but now he sees what you have to deal with, but now you in his shoes. So now you flip it.
Yes.
Now you do what you expected him to do. So he got them for the summer. Now, when you trying to throw all of this other stuff, so what if he want to send them to summer camp? Can he call you and ask you,
I need this money for X, Y,
or
Z?
are you gonna flip out and be like, no, they with you, you found a way? See, that's not fair, because when they trying to do something extra outside of what his child support covers for the school year, you gonna want him to cover it. So why can't you cover half on what he needs to go? Because again, those your kids too. So it's like this child support issue, baby, it will have you in, listen, it will have you all over the place. But it's just like, at the end of the day, if we focus on what's best for the kids and just doing what's fair and what's right for them, I think that'll help us make, you know, better decisions. But again, some of us, we're not ready for that. Erica, she's saying, know your step ups. Rochelle is saying, little extra happens all the time. He better feed my babies and don't ask me for it's part of being a parent. It's not going to be fair. One person is always going to be doing more. Erica is saying, these are some of the reasons how men get angry and women get bitter who's lost the kids. Very true.
These are the breaks.
But these are the situations that we are dealing with. But that's why we want to talk about them, because we want to bring issues like this that are affecting so many of us and help find a common resolution that everybody can be okay with. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make things better for the kids. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break.
Short.
And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into.
Yes.
So you stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yeah, guys, but it's just like this, baby. You talking about child support? Woo, that is the room divider. The divider, baby. They like child support. That's all they want to do, get child support. And you know, she took that child support and she riding this car and all this and that. Sir, have you forgot I work? I do receive, I receive a paycheck. I do have a little hustle here and there. So ain't nobody, but I can't say ain't nobody because see, some of them, y'all do have some of them that unfortunately they're just sitting up waiting for your child support check. You chose her. I didn't. Like, you chose her. So you gotta, I don't know, you just chose her.
You chose it because that thing was hot, and you had a Donkey Kong, and
he had that ding,
that ding dong.
I want my dong, my slong dong.
Slong dong, and yeah, but she had
See,
that
my
sloppy
slong dong
toppy.
would not be dealing with all that. I'm telling you, I'm going.
Sloppy toppy.
I will take great care of my slong dong, my dong dong. It's not gonna be everywhere. Like, because we finna start knocking stuff down.
I know. Who's the pillow?
But guys, listen, we
definitely pillow for your slong dong.
Oh, my slong, yeah, I would have a nice, comfortable pillow.
Put it on there.
And I'll make sure the head is all comfortable and everything.
Head, you good? I'm good. Okay.
Make sure my head, just make sure it's
you
good.
You rub on it, and then it'll jump a little bit.
And if it's like it'll have a perch detector, and it'll retract so fast.
Oh,
Be like,
that one.
Like, stay away. Ooh, no, this one right here. This may get you something. You go up in that, boy. You're gonna get caught up in something that you ain't ready
That's
for.
What happened to? Okay, so I was at a party and I invited one of my friends because she had a car, didn't have a car at the time. So she took us to the party, and it was my coworkers. So we're at this party, and she leaves me to go home with one of my coworkers, and I was like, oh, okay. And so when they get to his place, when they get back to her place, he's like, when she pulled her drawers and stuff off, he was like, he faked the stomach, pains and stuff, was like, yeah, he gotta go. He wasn't feeling
my
good.
My dog wasn't even gonna.
And so he was like, so at work the next day, I was like, hey, so, how'd everything go and stuff? And he was like, E, your girl. I was like, what, SP? I said, what's SP? Stanky. I was like, he was like, I said, I'm so sorry. He said, it's not your fault.
She had a stinky
It ain't yours. It was hers. He was like, I had to fake like I was sick and stuff to get up out of there. And he's like, once she pulled them drawers off, that stuff was punching me in the face. I was like,
first of all, if I had a dong, my dong would not be faking like I'm sick. I'm like, no, we ain't doing this, sister, right here. You got to take care. You have to wash between me and thee. You have to clean.
Divide the crevices.
It's probably some other dudes' bacteria still up in. I'm not doing it. So if I had a dong, I definitely would not be.
That dong.
I would not be entertaining that foolery because your hoo-ha is sick. Okay?
Not sacred anymore. It's sick. It's a difference between.
It's been
two different S's. Sacred and sick is two different words. You wouldn't want to.
No, my dong schlong would not be.
You want to approach it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the
J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey, E, how's it going?
I've been getting a lot of sex.
I'm glad you got it together over there. At least one of us got it together.
I had a trip, boy, girl, listen.
You know what?
Every day we was at that hotel, just about. When we stopped in Ohio, I lost my wedding ring. But
listen, your son.
We did it. Oh, he's not watching. He can't watch the show. This is X-rated. We talk about too much nasty stuff on the show. I can't let my baby watch this show. His friends may watch because one of them little bastards popped my button on my shirt on purpose. My shirt was hanging on the bathroom.
Because he don't want to hear how his mom and his daddy was getting it on.
You know what? It's funny.
Like, oh my God, Mom.
I'll be on the phone with my husband and stuff, and he's like, he'll come in my room, and I'm like, I'm on the phone. I know you're talking to my dad. No, I'm talking to my boyfriend. Yeah, my dad. No, I'm talking to my man. Yeah, like I said, my dad. I'm like, you know what? But he gets excited, like
He don't want to hear about y'all juicing.
no,
don't
but
wanna
he's
Ow!
like literally.
Ow, baby,
He was like the biggest fan. Like we went on this trip, and mind you, like my two sons was in the car. Well, not my other son was driving the other car. And my sister and my son was in our car, and my husband was like, I said, well, we're gonna just do 2 hotel rooms, and my mom was in the other car too. So I was like, we'll just do 2 hotel rooms until we stop at Midway, and we'll get 2 beds in each room, and we're just gonna go to sleep. That's what I'm thinking. My husband was like, no, we not. He was like, yeah, we getting our own room. The children gonna get their room because I got some plans. And unfortunately, we didn't do anything. I wound up doing my husband's hair.
Well, I'm so glad that you spared my little buddy because they were not ready
No,
for.
when we went to New Jersey, and then my son was knocking at our door, and I had opened. I was
Your
like,
oldest son, he don't want to.
man, he can't watch this show. This is my babies. Now, your
He
child
be
is
on
different.
there.
He'll be no, he don't.
Yes, he do.
He'll be.
He be on here.
He look after dark. It's too late there. By that time he like, well, she married, so he don't even pay no attention.
That's
to
what
me.
he don't want to hear his mama doing the horizontal mama.
I didn't say I was doing a horizontal mama.
They
I
over
was
there
just
juicing.
having.
But guys, listen, we
Making
want to
hide and
thank you
seek.
all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and J is spelled JAYE. All 3. Now wait a minute before you done. Go right on around the corner. Go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, the J Spot Radio. Again, that's JAYE. Guys, tonight we are being brought to you by flowerscbdshop.com. Definitely go to her page. She has the edibles, she has t-shirts, hats, she has the caps, the CBD caps. Go to her page, place your order today, use reference code J, that's JAYE. We're also being brought to you by the J Spot Airbnb. You all, it has been cracking this summer. Go to our page, like, book, share, refer. It's that simple. Like, book, share, refer. Right. Listen, we're located right next to the United Center. So definitely check us out, the J Spot Airbnb. We have the link posted in our comments. We're also being brought to you by Delaware Inc. You all, he has his spring and summer t-shirts out. Definitely go to his page, Delaware Inc. Check him out. Place your order today. Use reference code J. And once you got your t-shirt and you done looked at us and you got your little edibles, go ahead on, listen, sit back, get lined up, get faded up. BK the Barber. Tell them how they can get in contact with Mr. BK the Barber.
If you're in the Houston area, go to BK the Barber, located at 3000 Spring Cypress Road, Suite D in Spring, Texas, 77388. He is also on Bookski. Go to bookski.com. Download that Bookski app and book your appointment with BK the Barber. Look up Freelance Barbershop or BK the Barber at the Bookski app.
And use reference code J, and that's JAYE. Now, guys, listen, this next hot topic. Now, see, this is on the heels of this foolery that went viral a couple of weeks ago with the guy bringing only enough food for his biological child. So here we go with this ish. But see, this is why we have to talk about this, because people are dealing with these type of situations every day on so many different levels. So here's the next hot topic. The young lady asks, am I wrong? I'm taking my boyfriend and our children and our kids on a family vacation. He feels like I'm wrong for not including his kids. I told him he or his baby mother can pay for their kid if they want to go. I feel like that's not my kid, so that's not my responsibility. Am I wrong? What do you all think? So again, the young lady and her boyfriend and their kids, they're going on a family trip. He has another child. She's not including that child on that family vacation. She wants the father, which is her boyfriend, and the kid's mother to pay if she wants his kid to come on the trip. She wants to know, is she wrong for that? First of all, see, this that bull again. This is that bull. This is that bullery. This is that bull junkie right here. First, let's just dissect a few things. Ma'am, you said that y'all going on a family vacation.
Family.
So listen here. How are you going on a family trip, but you not including your boyfriend, which is a part of your family? You're not including his kid, which is a part of your family. Help me understand, how does that work? Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, because y'all know I be,
You be look, I got it.
so I be somewhere over here. But you guys, what do you all think? If y'all want to talk to us, 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. What do you think about that, E? Is she wrong for not including his child? And keep in mind, okay, the excuse could be the child doesn't live in the house with us. So is that a good enough reason for her not to include the kids?
So, on the correct thing to do, you would consider her to be incorrect, because that's a child, and that child has nothing to do with it, and you say you're with her guy, the child's father, and you all are going on a family vacation, and that's not fair to the child. But also, I mean, she's like, listen, what's wrong with his mom paying for him? Because if she's covering her child and stuff, because, this is her child and they may not have a child together, her and her boyfriend or whatever, and she's covering her child.
But she said they do have kids together. She said them and their kids. So they have kids. So now my thing would be this. This is how I would say, this is how she should.
She's not saying that the child can't go.
She's saying that she's not.
She's just saying that she feels that the mother of this child, y'all should pay for. I have to cover, because, I mean, let's be real, we're parents. So if I still have to cover my own children's stuff, then yes, she got to fork over some stuff, because I'm technically giving her a break.
But see, this is how you gonna know what the right choice is gonna be. Because let's just flip it. Let's say that the father and his new girl and their kids was going on a trip,
and I would give you the
your
money.
kid is invited.
Yes,
but the dad is not paying.
Okay, and here you
so
go.
She's gonna now you better know
me. You better know me.
She gonna be in her feelings. Oh,
I'm
so
not.
He can take this B and her kids, but he can't take his own biological kid.
Here
you
already
go. Know that's what's gonna be.
And you know what? If it's gonna give me a vacation, because if he said they're not saying that my child can't go. They're saying they're not saying that the child can't go. They're saying that I need to fork over some money, because everything is real. The trip ain't free. And I get that. Now, I'm not going to pay the whole cost. I'm not going to pay the whole cost. No. Because last time I checked, I didn't screw myself to make this child. So since we're going to get technical like this, and the woman feels like, well, E, you need to pay. Bad. You're right. I'm going to pay half.
These women are going to, I'm sorry,
I'm going to pay half.
Y'all know.
And that one right there that you done slept with and make them his siblings, he going to pay the other half. And Junior going to go with y'all to this thing, and guess what I'm gonna do? I might be making me some more babies.
Let's be honest. You all know that if the shoe was on the other foot, we will show our natural thong-cladded behinds. If this dude, the father, was taking his girl and they kids on a trip, baby, and didn't pay for your kid, you would show your natural, either your natural or your silicone enhanced behinds all up and through.
But that's the thing. When you get your feelings into
know
it,
that you would
because
show your behind.
Honestly, if you're thinking logically, right, and say
I'm showing out.
Listen,
I'm
you
sorry.
and your guy are together, and your children and your stepchild or whatever is on this trip, right? Your man is going to cover some of the stuff, but you also. But wait,
I'm showing out.
Listen, you also are going to cover some stuff for your children, because
I'm gonna
these are your babies.
I'm gonna give them some spending money.
But you still gonna
I want my baby to be included. No,
you want your baby to be included. But what you just saying, you're gonna give your children some spending money, and then you're gonna be like, and mind you, because we mothers, You be like, well, you know what? Let me buy so and so an outfit, my child an outfit, and that's still money coming out of your pocket. But still, so if it was me, honestly, if it were me and my ex whatever has the children for the summer and him and his girlfriend, you know, they want to take their children to whatever, and my children are, you know, our children rather want to be there with them too. Well, yeah, I'm going to say, listen, I'm not covering everything, but I will cover half. And I'm going to talk to her and him because everything is real. Because I too want, you know, if when my children come back to me and they want to see their brother and sister, whatever, I'm going to say, hey, bring so and so and so and so over my house and stuff because my children want to spend some time with them. But don't forget, drop off some fruit, some food and everything too, because everything is real. You know, I'm cooking, but I don't got enough to cover everybody. So I need to replace what's in my refrigerator when I feed these babies too, because they didn't come up out of my JJ. So everything is real. And I've even done that when it comes to my own children. I've dropped my children off to people's houses and stuff. And I brought a boatload of food. And not just food for enough for my children, but food for everybody and to last for the whole week, even if my children were only there for the weekend. But that's just how I am. But I wouldn't get mad if she said, well, I don't want to cover. And you don't have to. Just as long as you treat my children respectfully and like you care about them. That's all I ask for you to do. You don't have to be financially responsible for them because that's what me and his father are for. But I want you to treat my children with love and respect. That's all I ask.
So we got Rochelle. She said, include the child and don't ask the mom to pay. And they probably live together, which means their money is coming from the same pot. So technically, the father is paying for the child. Pretty Barbie, she's saying, Sister J, honestly, in my opinion, I think that if they are going on a family trip all together, then she should include the boyfriend's child in that. That does not look good to leave the child out of it. I would have told my child's father to please tell his ratchet girlfriend to include my child in it too. I would not mind sending my child's father some money for the trip.
That's what
Anisha
I'm talking
said,
about.
this is kids people, OMG. She said, this is kids people, OMG, come on. Erica, she's saying, great discussion. Anitra, she's saying, these kids just want to have fun, not to deal with grown people's problems.
But that's
Absolutely.
why you don't put them in the problem, but you do have, I mean, everything is real. And we have to have grown people discussion. And so I'm going to call up Jocelyn or whatever and Ray J and whomever, be like, listen, yeah, me and you got this baby together. And y'all gonna take, you know, little Junior on the trip with y'all. Bet, I get it. Listen, I'm gonna give you XYZ to make sure that he good to go. So that way everybody can have some fun in this and the other. So, and you don't have to worry about, well, if I'm, you know, if he ain't got XYZ. No, he gonna be okay.
See,
I just ask that you treat my babies accordingly. And I'm not, you know, I'm not worried about how the father is gonna treat him or even the mother. But I do want to ask, listen, he gonna have his own little pocket money, but I'm gonna still cover whatever because I just want to make sure that he's straight. Because even as parents, and when our children go away to the other parent or whatever, some of us may not have that discussion, but we will still, baby, let me give you this $10 real quick in your pocket.
just so
We'll
you
slide
know,
him some
now,
change just so you okay. So we may do it underneath the table, but you still making sure that your child is straight. And so any woman up on there saying, well, he should cover it. You still making sure that child is straight. Period.
So my thing is this. So being she's wrong to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the deal. Like if we're together and I'm saying that we're a family, so chances are I put the trip together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to pick somewhere that all of the kids that we as a family, we cannot all afford to go to. So therefore, if I'm planning something and we're family, I'm planning something where we can all go. Everybody is included. Not, well, I'm going to ask the mother for something. So I'm planning where we can all go. Now, the flip side, let me be the mother where I got the kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still, as that mother, going to
offer or something.
I'm still sending something.
That's what I'm saying.
But the obligation lies on the mother that is planning the trip to include it. But both women, it's on both women to step up
and
to do their job as mothers, as women. you got to step up. So both mothers should be stepping up. So just because you included my kid, I'm honored and I'm delighted, and my heart is at ease. I'm comfortable because you included my kid. But I don't take this as a, oh well, they better be paid for it. No, I'm
still gonna put something
because I'm a
because
mother.
this is my child, and that's all I'm saying.
Mother, but it lies on that original mother
but
that
see how I would
planned
do
that
it.
trip.
I would do it. I would ask. I would be like, listen, Jay.
I wouldn't ask.
I'd be like, Jay, listen, I'm planning the trip for the children, but everything is real.
But if it's one extra kid, like
I don't care if it's one extra kid,
then I'm not asking.
I am.
But if it's 3, we got 3 over here, and then that's 3 additional kids, then I would come to the table. So again, keep in mind, to me, it would depend on how many kids are involved. Because if we got 3 kids and there's 1 extra kid over here, what's 1 extra kid? But if it's 3 extra kids over here,
this is why.
Then we might have to have a conversation.
I'm tell you how that 1 extra kid goes. This is how the 1 extra kid goes. When it's that 1 extra, listen, seriously. When it's that 1 extra child, and you're the mother, right, of that 1 extra child. And what did you say that you was gonna do for that 1 extra child? Because you're the mother.
Jeez,
you gonna slide that child some money, right? That's where the problem lies.
Thank you for calling the J Spot. This is Jay speaking. Caller, state your name and where you calling from.
Okay, this is Erica calling from Chicago, your side, right?
Hey, Erica.
I love you guys.
Thank you.
I always get to tune in when I can. I just wanted to say, when you said, Jay, you said I wouldn't act. So here's the thing. Anytime that we are, especially in relationships, we have a respect. That's my tolerance, so I'm sorry. we have a respect problem, right? And see, what happens is we get into these relationships not knowing how these people are, right? And not the ones that we have children with already, even the new people that come into our life. We need to know what we're walking into. That's when I say know your setup, because here's the thing. We always have to ask to some extent because it's that respect level, because you will want to be asked. You will want to be informed. You don't want someone to just take control, but you want people to initiate. A lot of times those words are the same, but they're different in the action and the mode that it is, right? So I think the problem really comes in, like with the food stamp card, everything is really going to base down to just a level of respect. And at some point, somebody has to be responsible enough to just know what the hell is in the situation, right? Like, this is what I'm dealing with.
Yes.
So once you really accept the fact, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. I am not going to rag my baby's dad because he was, he's cool, right? But here's the thing. At some point in my life, when I knew that was not for us, not just me, it wasn't for us, right? I said, okay, I need to figure out this situation because this is what I'm working with and this is what it's going to be. So guess what? I didn't get food stamps. I'm just like you, Jay. I only really had 1 baby. So once you really get to working, we don't really get a lot of benefits. And I did it without the child support because at some point I realized when you know what you're dealing with, if I pushed him for money, then she lost her time. So guess what? I got 2 jobs and I kept her time, right?
Right.
That was what was best for her in my situation. We just have to look at what's the best for the children in the situation. And when it comes down to trips and Christmas and stuff like that, I take it as a sign. I left a man recently, 1.5 years ago, because he bought me a Christmas gift, but then bought my grandson one. And my grandson is my son, right? So that was a sign for me. It wasn't like I quit him instantly. It was just a red flag. And the red flag was, okay, this might not be a considerate person. So it wasn't like I can't rag him and then drag my grandson along for the ride just because I want the dog.
Absolutely.
Right? So I have to make a conscious decision early. Okay, this is not his thing. That's not my thing. And then now I have to accept what it is. Do I even want anything? I think not, right? So I just want to chime in. I always like our discussions.
Thank you so much, Erica.
You're so welcome. You always, and you look wonderful just as well as you always have. Girl, you ain't got, listen, y'all doing y'all thing. Congratulations, Miss E, on your, I think you got married recently too, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I am a fan. I'm going to
We appreciate you, Erica.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for chiming in. We appreciate you, girl. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Listen, Erica, she definitely made an awesome point. And again, it's just like, it's so many different variables that fit each scenario. So there's not a one size fit all answer to the scenario, but just based upon the one child, it definitely will lie on the mothers. And again, we have to do what we have to do, what's going to be best for the children. Guys, we have been talking and talking. Let's get into our discussion for tonight. Guys, we're talking about, is marriage a necessity? Do you need to get married, or can you just get that dong and, be giving out the dong just all willy-nilly and ain't got to be receiving? My dong wouldn't want to be monogamous. Now, let me stop. No, I'd have community dong. Not community hoo-ha, but I'd have a community dong. It's very different. But guys, listen, what is marriage in your opinion? Because a lot of people, it ain't nothing but a piece of paper. If that ain't the biggest load of bull junkie I've heard, it's just a piece of paper. But for you, E, what is marriage, especially, right on the heels of being recently married? What is marriage for you? For you.
Oh, wow.
Well, while she thinking about, she's still up there. She's still thinking about the slong dong up in here.
Marriage for me is safety. It's safety. It's commitment. It's something that I ask for. It's my best friend. It's security. It's security in that this person has my back and I have their back, and we can be vulnerable. Like when I told my husband every day, like, I prayed for you, and he's like, what? I didn't pray for him per se, but the description of the man that I asked God for, that's who I received. And I tell him that every day, like, I prayed for you. And so I'm very blessed. And so everything I asked for someone who was to my liking and my eyesight, and someone who I could be vulnerable with, and that they could be vulnerable with me as well. And my children would like and love, and we could, be friends also, and we could be silly and just be ourselves with, and not be afraid to just do whatever we need to do, and that I wouldn't have to be judged, And so I got all those things, and it was other things too, but I got all those things in what I asked for in my husband. So marriage for me, like I say, it's security.
I like your answer, because according to Webster's, I want to be whipped. Mm-hmm. According to Webster's dictionary, marriage is the state of being united as spouses in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. I like E's definition way better, because the safety, but I would also add partnership, companionship, somebody that you can confide in, somebody that, they got your back. Like, that's, to me, that's what marriage is. And when you ask, is marriage a necessity? When you're thinking and wanting and desiring those things, absolutely. Marriage is a necessity. Yeah, we can have committed relationships, and yeah, we got all that. We got that. But this is where now I like the Webster's part of the definition of marriage. It's a contractual relationship, because see, there's certain perks that come along with that contract. Yeah, that you don't get with just being in a committed relationship. So there are additional natural and non-emotional benefits to being married that you don't get in a relationship. Let's just talk about some of those benefits. I mean, of course, listen, you're partners. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing on paper. Like, you can't go and do this without. So it's bringing you together to do things like-minded, building. Like, if something happened to my long-term boyfriend, you passed away. You just passed away. Guess what? Mama and them coming and getting everything that belonged to him, even though I spent the last 20 years with him, taking care of him. But there was no contract to protect my interest in the relationship. So therefore, all that, yeah, we were in love, but baby, that love died when he closed it.
And see, that happened.
That was over
That happened with me
so many times.
when in my pseudo marriage, because that's what we call it. We have our little nicknames
Right.
for our previous marriages and stuff. And in my pseudo marriage, like, we got married and I never turned in, and I didn't remind him to turn in the marriage certificate to get the license and stuff. And so when I got married this time around, like, my husband was like, no, we there right here. And then the judge was like, well, you know, we can mail you the license in Indiana. He was like, no. We're gonna scare this right now because I have a reputation of I won't remind you, but I told him, like, I'm not gonna do that to you now, dude. Yeah, but I wouldn't do that to you. But that contract is valid and stuff. But in that contract, you have to respect each other, you know, and I also tell them, consider me in your actions. I'm going to consider you in every movement that I do. So consider me also in whatever you do. You know, have my best at heart when you make your movements, whatever, because I'm going to make sure that whoever comes at me, it's not happening.
And see, a lot of people, and so I agree with that, with what you're saying, Eve, but it's like, okay, that's the emotional side of it. And people will say, well, he does that for me in our relationship. So again, why do we need to get married? Because you need to put that ish on paper so that both interests are protected. Y'all love is protected because you got the natural side, but then you have the business side of being married. And again, it's just protection for both of whatever you guys are building, because if you don't have that marriage license, that marriage certificate, then anybody can come in and destroy what you all are building in the event that something happens to one of you. I've seen it too many times. Somebody done clucked out and then somebody end up on the short end of the stick. Listen, your body, listen. They haven't even identified what happened to you before folks are over at your house
picking through your things,
picking through your stuff. And because there was no contract and, you know, you don't have the other person that's left living, they don't have a say. They don't have a say they don't have a say to anything. If something, listen, you could be in an accident, you can't speak or sign for yourself. Your long-term girlfriend, listen, she may want to be, but when them mama and them aunties come in,
you will
again,
be put out
step
the way.
to the side. She not family. People are quick to pull that. They ain't family. They ain't married. Common law marriage. Listen, y'all, common law marriage ain't so common, so you better check the laws in the states that you're in, because still with common law, there's so many limitations. You need the real law for the real deal. So when we ask, is marriage a necessity?
But you know,
it depends on where you are.
I think it's different strokes for different folks. Like, for me, like, I was tired. I was so tired of just the madness, the relationship stuff, the insurance piece. I was tired of the wet spot. You know, I had to get tired. And when I got tired, I chose Jay's route and went celibate, Lord. And I was like, I want the next person that I'm with to be my husband. So I waited and I wrote a list out and I asked God, and I woke up and I was in tears, like, I want my husband. I was tired. And driving to go pick up my son, me and my son's father was talking, and that's how I was like, it's you. You're my best friend, you know?
And what he said definitely made sense. Listen, you get tired. You get tired of being a wet spot. You get tired of being a sneaky link and all of this other ish. And you just get to the point where, man, I want somebody to have my back. I'm ready to have somebody back. So is marriage necessary? Is it a necessity? I really think that it is, because at some point, we're all gonna need somebody to have our backs. Guys, listen, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and J is spelled Jaye. for all three. Before you're done, go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel,
Thank
the
you
J Spot
for hitting
Radio.
the J
Till next
Spot
time, you guys.
on
Good night.
Intellectual Radio.
Peace out. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night, guys. Good night. Good night.